Greetings, brothers and sisters. How y'all doing? All praises to the kingdom. In the name of Yahushua, unto the Father, Yahuwah. Now, can't even lie, despite everything that's been going on, what usually be going on, you know, life of a child of light, as I'm sure you can relate to. I've been in a pretty good mood, because, y'all already know what's up. But anyway, this video, this is another banger. Had to come with just some heat real quick. Mostly just, honestly, really just for fun at this point. Like, it's pretty much over with. I'm just gonna be straight with you, but our language and our culture, as you know, is all around us in various ways. But I want to talk about our language some more specifically. Before we get into that, though, I like this comment right here. You are right on point. Stay tuned. Welcome to the resistance. Shalom. Yeah, I like that. Welcome to the resistance. You already know what this is. A little bit more than resistance, though. It's more like reckoning. Alright, so let's start off with some street fighting. Since we done broke that down a million times before. Now, if you're not really hip with, if you new, basically go watch old videos. I done went over this stuff so pristinely, thanks to the spirit. So anyway, we broke Street Fighter down before, so let's just some names. You all know what a Hadouken is. That he broke down the code. That's gamma heat. You know, you shoot. Whoa, I got your hands. It looks like a fireball, whatever. So let's break down the actual word. So Hadouken. So in Hebrew letters, it would be Ha, which, and you guys remember, something to remember the language, it's basically it's the first language that anybody ever spoke, so it's context sensitive, you feel me? There's not no one definition for everything. So, Ha, which in this context would mean breath, then Dao, which means your duel. So in this context, what's the duel of breath? Breath is intangible, so, but you're shooting something tangible because it hits you in the game and it's going to kill your ass. So, energy, something tangible, energy, but it's still like, you know, it's a fireball, it's an energy ball. Then Ka, which can mean to twist and to utterly destroy. And I mean, the ball, it's a ball, it travels through the air, so it does kind of rotate and it destroys. And Na, which means, if you look at the, like in the video I'll show you later, in the book that she's going to show you, it'll say like cup. But you know, basically our language, like, it's based on what you see. We'll get into that more later, but just know that cup means like to like contain, control something. So or Na, it means to like contain, control something. And if you take the, cause Na is just how you say it as a letter by itself, but when it's part of a word, you obviously wouldn't say the I, it'd just be the N at the end. So for example, the sun would be Ushan, because Sha means fire, U means like active, and the sun is actively burning. And like I just said, Na means to like contain, so Ushan, control ball of fire, the sun, or the Shayan, you can say it different types of ways. And so you put that all together, and what I just said, does that not sound like a Hadouken, a fireball, whatever you want to call it? But realize these are nosy foreigners, so they can't pronounce it right. So instead of Hadouken, we'd say it like Hadoukan or something like that. So Hadoukan, something like that. But you know, there's obviously a couple of different ways to say it. But you get the idea. Next, One Piece. You know, we talked about One Piece on that last video. The video had actually got a lot of views. It's cool. I like that video. It's a banger. Because it has a lot to do with like what's coursing through me right now, and I'm sure it's coursing through you too, as well, to basically cleanse the world. Let us read. So we got Haki is a mysterious power that allows the user to utilize their own spiritual energy for various purposes. This shit is present in every single anime, every single shonen, every single, like, even in cartoons and shit, there's always some kind of energy, some type of force. In TV show, why am I even explaining this again? Y'all, I'll beat y'all over the head with this so many times at this point, man. Anyway, it can be used to sense people's spiritual energy, okay? So sense Predict their actions. Okay, so like Sharingan type, I can see your moves, all that. Gives the user protective coding and spiritual energy so they can manipulate themselves with it some way. And for a certain group of chosen ones, wink wink, overpower the willpower of others. All being in the world are capable of this, that, and the third. Alright, so that's pretty self-explanatory. And also notice how when using observation haki in particular, we see a recurring trope that we've spoken about before. And yeah, he has spoken about long before I have, and so have many other prophets. And also just, it's in the scriptures, it's everywhere. Red eyes, eyes of fire, eyes of the spirit. That's you. That's you. Break it down, haki. So, ha, talked about before, in other contexts can mean look into, so to look and reveal. Alright, so that's one form of observation, haki down. And ka, which means to twist and can also mean DNA. Now, I'm going to show you some videos and like basically give you a link to a channel later on, and like 2 videos in particular where you can learn more about that. But just know right now, it can mean in a certain context, twist and DNA, so that I mean, for example, Gear 4th Luffy, what does he do? He twists his body and expands it, and they talk about adding spiritual energy, which is manipulating yourself in some way. You get what I'm putting down. And then IE, which in our language means to see, to like see, to look, and also means activity. So there you go. You got the spiritual energy coding, sensing of emotions, looking and revealing, predicting the future and all that. To see activity. You see what I'm putting down? Hakai. This one made me pretty mad. We got the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and I've seen the Elder Scrolls pop up in ceremonies numerous times before. You know, the whole company is called Bethesda, straight out the Bible. You know, just Masonic shit. I'm about Ty Howard. And just let me clue you in on something real quick. The devil has his hands in every single industry. I don't care if it's cooking, video games, racing, using anything like that. If you want to get to the tippy top, you're going to be eating out the pot, especially when you're making games, basically encoding cryptic information and doing a whole bunch of, you know what we're on. And so when you see fools like Todd Howard go out so bad that they do in public, and just when you see any celebrity basically just go out bad and do something like, they can't be that dumb. Like, why would they lie about this when they know it's not that, or something like that? It's because it's a seesaw. No matter what industry you're in that world, in that game, when you're eating out that old bastard's pot, one person goes up, another goes down. That's all it is. It's a constant seesaw. So if you see somebody go down, somebody else went up. And if you see somebody go up, somebody else went down. That's all it is. It's devilish. So in the game it reads Force, Unrelenting Force. That's the name of the Shout Natural game. And I used to play this game all the time, man. Every single show we talked about and game that we will talk about, like on this channel basically, and in this video, I've been interested in my whole life about knowing. We talked about in various videos before, and I've seen y'all in the comments feel the same way. This is how this works, man. You know, you are. That's how it works. But anyway, Fus Roll Dot. And look at those, remember those symbols. Now, Fus Roll Dot. Force, balance, push. Unrelenting force. Your voice is raw power, pushing aside, all that in the third. A tidbit of knowledge you might find beneficial about our language is that there is no F sound. Nope, not at all. We have pa. And in our sound, as I've spoken about before, the root sound is ah, and it has to do with thinking. Like, it means like basically, like literally your brain waves, like thought, like that. This language is beautiful. So ah. And oo long, the long vowel oo means action. So like, for example, ta, which means like you smack your hand down. If you think about smacking your hand down, you think about like thrusting your hand out, that would be ta. If you're like thinking about it or like representing it in a conversation. But if you're like actually doing it, it'd be tu. So that's why, like, for example, in Smash Bros, Captain Falcon, you press when you mash his jab, and he starts jabbing really fast, he says tu 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 over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's the type of shit they do. So yeah, pa. So in this case would be pu, face, which means actively coming from. So something actively coming from your face. Ra, which means to destroy or to hunt and kill. And with a long, it can be ra, ru, or ro. And like we said, with a long oo, it means action. So active action. But you can also say ro in this case. So actively coming from your face, actively destroying and killing, and then da, lips. Because it can also, we used it for duality in Hadoken, but in this context, it means lips. So actively coming from your face, actively looking to destroy, and from your lips. And in the game, it's talking about some force, unrelenting force. You see exactly what I'm talking about. And back to Street Fighter real quick. Now next we're gonna break down this. It's called the Shinryuken. As you can see, he's embedding himself in flame. He's punching this man in the stomach and ascending while twisting violently, doing a lot of damage. Let's break it down. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, this one was pretty fun to do. So as we've spoken about before, we got Sha, fire, Na, which means control, but we're taking the Ah off because it's not Na by itself, it's the letter. Reforming a word, reforming sentences and such. Words and sentences. This is how you trying to learn you something. So Sha, fire. So Shan, control fire. Ra, as we've spoken of, to hunt and kill. And then the U. So we got Yat, which means closed fist, which can mean closed fist or to strike or strife, like fighting. And then we have Ka, which as we've spoken about before, can mean to utterly destroy or to twist. Was he not twisting? And at the end, again, Na, in the end, controlled. So Sha, Ra, Ya, Kan. Shinryuken, Shanryakan, or Shanryakan. So, I hope you understand a little bit more. It's deeper than, it's too deep. When I remember a while ago, there was this game I remember seeing trailers for it, and I remember just really liking this game and liking the music, and I always wanted to play it, but I never got the chance, because back then I didn't have an Xbox 360. But later on, I got the chance to play it, beat it, loved it, you know, liked the gameplay, loved the story, loved the way it looked, loved the music. I always love music, and good music in games is like essential for me. It's called Bastion, as I said. As you can see, he's got white hair. It's wearing a red sash. Let's take a look at the synopsis. Bastion is an action role-playing video game developed in 2011. In the game, the player controls the kid, the boy king. As that Bastion story follows the kid as he collects special shards of rock, crystals, we spoke about crystals, to power a structure, the Bastion, in the wake of an apocalypse or an apocalyptic calamity. In the game, the event is just called the Calamity. Now, remember this, because this is going to come back into play later on. And this right here is every loading screen for the game, by the way. Just take a look at them letters, them symbols. Now, something else about our language. Nature is not just there to look pretty and be essential. It also teaches you how to speak, how to communicate. One thing the Most High taught our people is when it comes to our language, you have to look at nature in order to basically like grasp it. But instead of me trying to explain this to you, I'm going to let another who's more versed in this explain it to you. But I'm going to play a few short clips before that to basically prove the point. You're going to see what I mean. But first, let's talk about this fella real quick. This fella I'm referring to being Ryu Hayabusa, which is a fictional ninja character from Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden who happens to be a hybrid wielding an ancestral sword capable of destroying evil. Where have we seen this before? Anyway, onto these clips. So find it funny how this movie is called Lines Barrage. All things considered, all those weird tropes about all these animes and all these basically just every form of media and such just makes so much sense now, doesn't it? All that fresh in your noggin, good. Now listen closely.
Now, the sound roo, where else have you heard that? You've heard it from dogs. Well, they call them dogs. And wolves. When they bark, they say roo. When they growl, they say rawr. So you see, the Most High did not take our language from us. He just caused us to forget. Your language has always been there. It's right in front of you. You just didn't know where to look. Now, as far as the surrounding part, you're probably wondering, how does Ra mean to surround? Well, when wolf packs and dog packs hunt, they hunt in packs, obviously, but they surround their prey. They circle around them before they attack. Ra, roo, row. Birds of prey, when they're hunting for food, they typically fly in a circumference. They circle around and they survey the territory. But birds of prey, the predator species, also have a very unique mating ritual where they grab each other's claws and they spin very fast towards the ground.
We all got one 5 months ago.
He's got a lady friend. Of all courtship rituals in the animal kingdom, the most spectacular by far is that of the bald eagle. The male and female climb to dizzying heights, and then join in free fall, plummeting toward Earth, locked in each other's embrace, separating only at the very last moment.
And this is how our people knew to also define Ra as to spin violently, to make dizzy. And that is how our language works. And of course, we know what happens to someone when we spin them around very fast. They get dizzy and they can't stand up straight. They fall down.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now go watch them 2 videos like I highlighted in the circle if you really want to know more, and the Most High wills that you will understand and comprehend. But you can really watch every video on this whole page. I'm really putting y'all on because like, every video on this page is some heat. But that's besides the point. And one thing some things you'll come to realize by going on that sister's channel, it gives you his redemption. That Shamash lands are very vast, and that the ones that you think are Native Americans look a lot more familiar than the ones that claim to be. So let's take a look at genuine Native American martial arts, quotation marks, Native American martial arts. Chalukawa Ryu. There's that Ryu again. Now, I'm not going to go into intense detail with this because you see the link at the top. You can do that yourself if you want to, if you're into that. But basically, this is the real deal. I'll just say that. Plain and simple. This is the real deal. But let's get into the point. So in this, you have to understand that one of the key aspects of basically the way that you really fight is visualize and just having good mental coordination, because without good mental coordination, everything falls flat. So the dude who was explaining this to the guy who wrote this article lists off 8 aspects or attributes, whatever you want to call it. He counts on those fingers. You gotta have balance, coordination, power, speed, distance, timing, relaxation, and attitude. The wheel shows where you need each one the most to get maximum efficiency with minimum effort. It's saying that you need balance in all your inner aspects. And we already know how these fools like to do this. They basically took all our stuff and they either used it for their benefit, they made fun of it, or they're inverting it and trashing it for it. All that. So we know this. And we have been talking about what we've been talking about this entire video. So then when you look at something like this, it all starts to realize, and this type of wheels president all shown in pretty much like Bleach, Hunter x Hunter, they all have something like this. It's look, yeah, I understand. And y'all thought it ended there, nah. So as we know in these last days, things are gonna be going a lot different. That's why it's something such as One Piece, which is so heavily coded, and it's like, and I'm stressing this again because like real talk, dude, One Piece has been going on for like 20 plus years. That shit is predictive programming at its finest and most deceitful. I'm telling you, bro. But yeah, basically anything to do with a new world, bro. Like, dude, it's y'all feel it, bro. It's off in the shift anyway. 15 best hub worlds in video game. What is the hub world? What's the concept behind that? Home sweet home. What exactly is the hub world location? Well, it's a place you come back to after a long, tiring quest. A place where you collect yourself and get ready to embark on your next mission. A place where you hang your hat at the end of the day. Have some relaxed conversations with your friends and companions. It is, in a word, home. And this concept has been around in video games for a long time. Since the beginning, pretty much. We got Sanctuary from Borderlands 2, one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. Jewel from Dark Souls 2, another game I like. Bastion from that game I was talking about earlier. The Bastion. This is the Bastion, what the game is based off of, named after, I mean. And this is Isaiah 4. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion, and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion, and upon her assemblies a cloud of smoke by day, and the shining of a flame of fire by night. For upon all the glory shall be a defense. And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert from storm and from rain. Pretty self-explanatory. Blessings, praise, and glory unto you all. In the name of Yahushua, to follow you, or glory to the kingdom. Y'all be safe, stay prayed up, and see you on the front lines.